Welcome to this month's Leader Update. So I'm going to give you a roundup of some of the latest developments across the Council and across our beautiful county, and I hope it can also help you get involved in shaping the things that matter to you. Now, I did promise you that I would be as honest as possible. Now, I know for a politician that's an interesting comment to make, but I've always said that I'll be really honest about our financial situation. You know that we are in a difficult position. We have a serious financial challenge. We're not alone. Many other councils have the same thing. And for many years now, we've been doing more with less. The problem is the demand for our services doesn't change. And at the moment, we're expecting a £38.5 million overspend on this year. And yet last year, we made the highest savings ever. But the savings we need to make this year are far more complex. So there is £46 million of savings now identified for delivery by the end of March next year. This is more than was delivered in the whole of last year. But that's actually only 53% of the savings that we must make. So we have the £62.5 million worth of savings set out for this year in the medium-term financial strategy. And then there are some savings that were not fully realised in previous years, and also savings related to managing demand, especially in our social care services. Those plans for getting out of this situation include difficult decisions, but we must make sure that these are the right decisions. So you will only be too aware that we are now charging for garden waste. We're looking at introducing a booking system for our household recycling centres and developing our temporary accommodation offer so we're not dependent on more expensive and unsuitable provision. We can absolutely balance the books by keeping our saving plans on track and using our general fund reserves where needed. But this would leave us in a very, very stark position next year. There is only currently £38.8 million in reserves. Service reviews are taking place across the council and they are essential to keeping plans on track. There certainly will be an impact for people in our communities and we will be consulting on any significant changes. We need to be the council we can afford to be for a sustainable future. Now let's not forget that we're coming up to the autumn statement, and I and many other council leaders across the country will be hoping that the new government appreciate the work that local government does and the pressure that local government is under. I'm really hoping that they see the value of local government to local communities. So let's talk about garden waste. You now know you need to subscribe to our garden waste service if you want us to continue collecting your garden waste from 1st of October of this year. The subscription for 12 months is £56 and covers the period 1st of October 24 to the 30th of September 2025. The payment window is open until March next year. To subscribe, you can visit our website www.shropshire.gov.uk/garden waste and then click on subscribe now to visit the My Permit website where you can sign up and pay. Now what I should tell you is that in other councils My Permit is used for many things. In Shropshire, of course, we only associate it with parking up until now, but that's the way that you're going to pay for your green waste. You can also call My Permit on 0345 520 7007 and select option 2 and speak to an advisor. So far we've had more than 35,000 subscriptions, which is absolutely great. So let's talk about household recycling centres. A booking system for visitors to our 5 household recycling centres is set to be introduced on the 4th of November of this year. The household recycling centres are in Craven Arms, Bridgnorth, Oswestry, Shrewsbury and Whitchurch. And all 5 centres are going to remain open 7 days a week until at least April. One of the reasons we've changed our minds slightly on that is because we want to make sure that if we are going to have to close for 1 day a week at each of the centres, we want to get the right day. Having the data from the booking system will help us with that. But there's lots of other reasons for having the booking system. It will help reduce the congestion and queuing times. Now I know some of you have said, but I never see a queue. But believe you me, in some of our household recycling centres, the queues can be quite significant. and difficult for the roads around. It will also help us to increase recycling because the staff will be able to better engage with visitors and make sure that the right things go in the right place, and actually they'll also be able to help you. It's open to residents in the Shropshire Council and Telford and Wrekin Council areas, so it's the whole of Shropshire. Perhaps one of the really important things is that it will reduce the amount of trade waste taken to the centres. You can book your slot at all of the recycling centres, either online or by phone. And, of course, it's completely free. The one thing I should point out, because other people have said to me, there's going to be a cost to you having this booking system. This booking system is already in place at lots of other household recycling centres and is operated by Veola, so there is no extra charge to us. Further details on this will be announced in the coming weeks. So the other big news you may have heard about is that finally Shropshire Council is going to be moving out of the Shire Hall. The Guildhall will now be the new administrative base for the council, and we've implemented a phased move of services from the Shire Hall. So this move is part of our plan to ensure we change how we are organised, how we run our services to become the council that we need to be, modern, even more efficient and financially sustainable to continue delivering the Shropshire Plan for our communities. So we must look at the different ways we can do this, and we've always said that this means we'll be a smaller council, downsizing to smaller locations that are more efficient to run while providing a much better workspace in many different ways. It's a natural next step towards our financial survival. Our administrative base at the Guildhall will be smaller than Shire Hall, and this is consistent with our plans for developing hubs all over the county, creating a more community-based approach for some of our colleagues, whilst also reducing our operational costs and our carbon footprint, in line with the Shropshire Plan. I trust that you find this update useful. Please share it if you can, and don't hesitate to get in contact with me if you have further questions.